So one of the big questions that I've seen, I've heard, I've watched videos about is the fact that professions are pretty dead. A lot of people are saying the game got boring, there's nothing to do, and I think a lot of it revolves around the fact that you can't make any gold, at least not on high pop servers. So I'm going to pull up my leatherworking here, and if you go through some of the stuff that you can get just to start with, you can see down here in my craft sim. Now I'm not sure about this 1400 gold profit. I don't buy that, but that may be something. There is a little bit of gold to be made here and there. I'm actually really surprised. There must be a lot of new characters coming on because this was basically junk for a long, long, long time. But what I decided to do was because this is a leather worker and the fact that I have three leather wearers and a male wearer, I decided to make stuff for myself. And I think that's kind of the best way to do it. I'm not slowing down on anything. I've got leather armor crafting. I've got everything opened up for all of the areas. I maxed out belts because belts is one that demon hunters craft that's not a tier piece. I don't know that I would ever get a tier piece, but for the sake of argument, I just maxed that out so that I could make all these higher end recipes. Now they all take a spark of ingenuity and primal chaos. I don't have a lot of primal chaos. They also take these very expensive materials. You're looking at 1,090 gold just for these scales, unless you farm them yourself. Same with these plumes. But all of these take sparks of ingenuity. But what somebody like me who's casual, who doesn't raid, who doesn't do high-end mythic, and I barely do mythic at all, and so I'm never going to have maxed out gear. So this is level 386 as it is. Um, I can still customize the stats that I need. You can add for demon hunters. The best one that I've heard is the polishing cloth. Or no, I'm sorry, it's not the polishing cloth. The silken lining. Sorry. So this is supposedly the best option for demon hunters. I also have a regular hunter and I also have a druid that I can make all this gear from. Now to get maximum level, you're going to have one of these things, these primal infusions. Well, these come from high end rating and high mythic plus. So again, I'm never going to have, level with the infused or the concentrated primal, you're looking at 408 to 418. I'm never going to have that. It's not going to happen. However, I can craft gear that gives me a huge advantage. So I'm in this spot for a reason. So you just see this little sweetheart right here. Ayaga or Ayanga. Okay. This is an elite. Oh, and she's gonna attack me. So I'll just go through while I talk here. So I tried soloing her back in the day, um, because it's part of a quest. And so in order to kill her, I would have needed somebody else. So what I did was I crafted myself some gear and came back down and gave it a shot again. And guess what? I can solo her now. So does it help? Absolutely. I've noticed that on a lot of my characters when I have trouble uh, defeating mobs, I go get some gear. My paladin, I did a video on the new area and I got destroyed. Decided my gear was way too low as a red paladin. And again, I haven't played paladin much at all since BC, but as you can see, I killed her. I'm down a little bit of health there, but oh well. So we'll skin this. And so gear helps a ton. Also, I've done videos for my scribe, who I make all the treatises. I don't know if I have any on this left on this. I already put the orders in, and this is another thing that really helps. Is putting in work orders. I don't have any treatises. Work orders for the contracts, for Valdrakken Accord or whatever faction you want. The Artisans Consortium is a big one. Uh, right now, the two best factions to get maxed out are for leatherworking is Maruk Centaur and the Iskara Tuskar. Those are those have all of the recipes. The Valdrakken Accord does have some, but I'm only 19 on that one. But I haven't played this character a ton until recently because I decided I needed some gear. And so when you look at what are you going to do with your profession, if you're an alchemist, just forget it. There's no advantage to maxing out uh, your alchemy, none whatsoever. If you fly around and you get dirt, so you can see over on the left here, profession knowledge weeklies. Um, some of the stuff that you can get for those is knowledge points, and so I fly around and I skin stuff or I do my weekly quest, even though I'm only doing it for myself. Um, but you're going to get potions every time you pick a disturbed dirt. You're going to get a potion. Now that might only sell for 1 gold or 2 gold or whatever, but it's a free gold, so who cares, you know? And I ran out of vigor because I'm not paying attention here. But the fact of the matter is that you can make a few passive gold. I had a lot of really big expectations for Dragonflight and be able to make gold, but I found that to be uh, less than uh, what I expected. It turned out to be absolutely horrible within the first few days. In fact, the first character that I leveled was a druid. My druid was a gatherer, and I had a really hard time. And I'm not sure. I supposedly balanced druids have gotten some tweaks that have made them better, but my druid had I was just getting wrecked, just completely wrecked. And so I ended up changing that spec to guardian and running bear form just to get through the last little bit of it. And that's really really sad. But again, my druid is not geared hardly at all. I bought some stuff off the auction house, but um, I bring that up because gathering within the first couple of days, materials tanked. Now, maybe the first day or so it was fine, but after that, completely tanked. And I thought, how disappointing is that for people who wanted to make gold gathering? You have a character you're going to gather ore. It's a miner and an herbalist, and I thought, well, this is cool. I'm going to make lots of gold, and the price of everything just dropped right in the toilet, and that's really sad. So I don't want to go too long, but just level your professions up, get all of the knowledge points and stuff to benefit yourself. Um, Dragonflight is a complete failure for most gold making unless you're going to take the time to farm old content. There are old leather farms, old herb farms, stuff like that you can do. But it all comes down to the exchange of time for gold. And it's exactly, and I've mentioned this before, it's exactly the same as the wages at your job. Are you willing to exchange the amount of time that it takes for you to make 1,000 gold for the hours that it takes to gather that much stuff? Or are you willing to put the gold into the crafting to try and make gold? Now, like I said, this really kind of threw me for a loop when I saw this stuff, how much the profit is on it. And I don't know that this is actually accurate, but I could make some gold if people are buying it. That's the whole thing. Are they actually buying that? But I can guarantee you there's very, very little, maybe one or two potions that is selling. Inscription, again, there's a couple things here and there that will sell. There's some stuff in enchanting if you get the high end weapon enchants. But again, you're looking at the Centaur and the Tuskar, probably the Valdrakken Accord, maybe the Artisans Consortium to get the rep up to get those high end enchants. But again, what kind of cost is that going to be? But again, if you do it for yourself, then you don't have to have somebody craft you a weapon enchant. You can just do it yourself, or a piece of gear, or a trinket. I haven't maxed out, but I've leveled up my uh, jewel crafter, or not my jewel crafter, sorry, my scribe, because one of the best uh, trinkets for demon hunters. And I don't want to drop myself in the middle of a bad area here, but it is this Dark Moon card dance. But I need to recraft it to add all the stuff that I need on it. So I needed to be able to do that. So I'm working on getting to the point where I can recraft that, put the stuff on it I need it. And I paid a ton of gold for that, and they're down about, oh God, like 8,000 gold now, which is really pathetic. But in order to be able to do stuff for yourself, you have to kind of do those kind of things here and there. Where did that goat come from? For real, dude? Um, so you can do the stuff for yourself. I think that's something that everybody should be doing. I think that you should be crafting stuff for yourself. I've got an entire video on how to do personal work orders for yourself so you can get all those knowledge points. Get to level 5 on the Dragon Scale Expedition. If you have a blacksmith, you can craft these shovels. They're 20 charges each. Now they're selling for 90 gold. They were selling for about 250 gold each because the ones you buy, I think some are like 15 expedition resources for a 5 charge. But you can get these if you have a blacksmith. Again, level or renown 5 with the Valdrakken or with the Dragon Scale Expedition will get you that recipe as a blacksmith right here. Wait a minute, that's 15. Missed it. So here we are, renown 5. Buried treasure. So you can get at level 5, you can get that recipe as blacksmith and craft your own. So anyway, I'm not going to go any farther. We've already gone 12 minutes and I don't want to make it too long, but just know that don't give up on professions when you're working for yourself. I'm on a high pop server, which is why I kind of thought that maybe those prices are a little inflated, but I don't know. Unfortunately, on high pop servers, you've got 80 million people crafting, and so chances are pretty good that the cost that's going to sell are going to be really low, and that's the way it was really really bad for a very long time with leatherworking. I pretty much given up on crafting, but it's also for blacksmithing armor. In fact, I gave up. I switched my professions and switched to jewel crafting on my paladin because blacksmithing was dead. There's just no way that that's worth it. So craft for yourself. If you need any have any questions about how to craft for yourself or what the best thing to do would be, leave me a message. I'd be more than willing to reach out to you and tell you what the advantages are or how you do it. Um, I wish there was a better outlook on making gold. As someone who focuses very hard on making gold, it's very hard for somebody who is part-time casual player to make gold in Dragonflight. But I hope this helped. Leave me a like, comment if you want to subscribe. Jump on. I'd like to build this a little bit. Um, I want to get information out. I don't edit. I don't sell guides. I don't do anything extra simply because I don't have the amount of time that a lot of creators who don't work have. And so uh, if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer that. All right, you guys have a great week.